Yo, what is up? It is your boy. I got a bad stomach and my phone's dying, so I gotta hurry up and do this. Today's interview is with the one and only Cold AF. Y'all don't want to be missing out on this. We talk about Spotify algorithms, we talk about rebranding and strategic release planning and all that stuff. There's a lot of really good information on this. You definitely want to be checking this out in its entirety. And if you are here, I do not want you to like, comment, or subscribe or whatever until you have watched/listened to the entirety of the interview and actually enjoyed it, actually liked it. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get right into it right now. So I guess we'll start with a little introduction. Just give us your name, where you're from, and what you do.
I go by Cold AF. It's cold as fuck. The the name has to do with a song under my old brand. It was my first song to break 100,000 streams, and so I was like, oh, it has to do with the word cold, so fuck it. I live in Arkansas, but I live about 40 minutes from Memphis. I'm actually like just under 45 minutes from where young Dolph was unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I associate mostly with Nashville. Like when people ask where I'm from, I don't say Arkansas. I hate that. I hate everything about Arkansas. Yeah. And so I used to spend a lot of time in Nashville anyways. I'd go up there for any reason I could, whether it was music or take my wife and just spend a week there. Right. So yeah, typically it's ripped off, bro. Facts. Yeah, ripped off. But yeah, so I'm Cold AF. I make lo-fi music, and I dabble in other shit. I engineer on the low, and that's about it. I've been doing this like 7 or 8 years now. I've been on different radio stations under my old name. I got to tour. And now I've kind of restarted, and I'm kind of just vibing. So right. Rough overview.
Yeah. All right, so and we'll get a little bit more into the overview, right? So yeah. What is the origin story, right? How'd you get into music, just in general?
I always loved it. When I was like 12, I got into freestyling. I learned, you can get it naturally, but if you practice, you can actually train yourself to freestyle really well. And I got into rap battles. I loved them. I think I was 14. I went to a tournament in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Fayetteville is like the only place in Arkansas that you're ever going to hear about being anything good. It's like a party city, big colleges around. I went to Fayetteville, and I was in a rap battle tournament against a bunch of college kids, and I went 12-0, and I had to leave. I don't remember why. I think like my parents drove me or something, and we were like visiting friends, and I was like, yo, I could actually go do this. And so we had to leave early because we had to go home. So like we live like 5 hours away. So I had to quit. I was 12-0 though. So like I'm not gonna say I was gonna win because the dude that took it was nasty as fuck. Yeah. But yeah. So I started with rap battles and rap battle tournaments when I was like 12 or 13, 14, and was competing with like college kids. They would take me under their wing and be like, this kid's fucking crazy. Yo, right. And then I was listening to, I think it was Andy Mineo. Yeah, his song Rewind came out when I was like 16. And I think it was Rewind. And he talks about having he talks about putting a recording studio in his closet. He said, my clothes got to come out because my mic's going in, or something, like some corny line. I loved it though. And so I was like, oh shit, I can do this myself. Like, and I'm 23 now. So this was, 7 to 7.5 years ago. I was like, oh, okay. Damn.
Wait, you're 23?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I don't know why I thought you were older.
I mean, I'm married. I got a kid. I don't know. I give off that vibe.
Maybe, yeah, makes sense.
All my friends in lo-fi are way older than me. Like Poetics is like 28.7 or 8 or something.
Yeah, I think he's like 28 or something like that.
Yeah, and then Snow and like Sad Boy, they're all like, Snow's like 20 or 21. Sad Boy's like 18. Like it's such a huge. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
gap.
weird. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, my fault. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just shocked.
No, you're good. But yeah, so I put a mic in my closet. I used to. So I was homeschooled. But not homeschooled. Like when I say homeschooled, people kind of shriek. Uh, I was homeschooled so that I could work. I had two jobs. I was 16, and at 14 I got my hardship and was able to drive legally at 14 to work. I always had jobs. I don't know. I always prioritize the grind, right? You got to have cash to be able to put into whatever you're doing. So put the studio in, recording studios in the house. I'm recording like crazy. Fuck friends, like I cut everyone off. Let's just go. And I started coaching gymnastics and shit around that time and parkour. And so I would literally get off work and go record. And then go to bed, wake up, go to work, come back, go record. And that's where I got signed to my first low-key deal. Like, Outlet would laugh at it because I call it a deal. Yeah. And he knows all about it. But I was part of a collective, and I got to go tour. I got to, I don't know. It was super dope opportunity. But that's kind of where I built as an artist. Right. I was like 18, I think. I think I was 18 when I joined the Qwik. And I rode that out for like 2 years. Got in with Poetics and Outlet and Matthew Tuck and Big Zach and like my little circle. Yeah. And from there we all kind of just grew together. Yeah. And yeah, we left I've told you about the scene that we were all in that we kind of left together. Right. That was huge because we were all stepping away from our brands. I had just dropped a song with a Capital artist. If you don't know who Capital is, like you're sleeping on the music industry. It's not a deal. I mean, money was involved, so it was technically a deal. But and I got to tour and shit, and I actually owned all of my masters through that too. It was cool. But what was I saying? Fuck. I'm too ADHD for this shit.
You were on
Capital.
Yeah.
So I had just dropped a song with an artist from Capital. It had just broke like 100K streams. It was my first 100K. I had just partnered with a huge brand on a second release. I think before that, I don't remember if it came before or after that. And that was popping off. I felt like I was finally getting somewhere, and then I hit kind of a brick wall. And I couldn't go any farther, and I was starting to get shit on and blacklisted by certain people because I wanted to talk about my beliefs and because I don't fit into the boxes they wanted me in. So I kind of just had to step away. And it was Poetics. I got a text from Poetics. I saved it, but I can't find it now. But he texted me and said, yo, if you'll leave your collective and like if you'll leave your brand and shit, I got you. Like, we'll grow. We'll step out. We'll grow. And I was like, fuck it. Let's go. Because, like, this was before he blew up. Like, he was always just business-minded, always had his hands in everything. So, yeah, it was the best. I don't know. So, yeah. And then 2 years ago, almost 2 years now, I started. Wow. It doesn't feel like 2 years. I started Cold AF. And I got introduced to Snow through Warzone, and with Snow, I've built all my other connections, just being introduced to people and all that. And yeah, then now we're here. So I could go way more into detail, but that would take hours.
Right. Yeah, I know. Trust. We've talked a good amount about it, so
yeah.
At least I know. What would you say are some of your influences? I know you told me this in person, I think, but just to have it here on record for the interview.
Yeah. I hate the idea of influences.
Okay.
But I don't. I have that answer for everything. You ask me a question, I'm like, well, I actually hate this, but I hate the idea of being influenced by something because the second that you mention it, people start trying to say that, if I know multiple artists that will say they're influenced by NF. After that, I'm sorry, I only see you as an NF copycat. Your songs, everything NF related stands out. It pisses me off. So like,
Right.
I don't usually talk about like, but outside of the typical, because like my biggest influences are my circle, like Poetics, Snow, Zach, Outlet, like those are my influences. Watching them grow, watching them just grind it out and pursue their dreams and shit. Especially when they start popping the fuck off. It's the
Yeah.
greatest thing. Being on the phone, being on the fucking phone with them, and they're watching their stats and like, bro, it's at 100K, bro, it's at 500K. Oh my fucking god, bro, it's at a milli. Like, it's crazy. I'm like,
That's
bro, I'm
dope.
proud. Like, influences. But as far as the typical answer that everyone wants to hear, like artists and shit, these aren't like my top 5 of all time,
Right.
but like I'm gonna limit myself to 5 for influences. Probably Nash at the top. Lil Peep, X, Tech Nine. I should have done 6. It's hard to pick. And then I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this. Hobson. That's probably
Okay.
my 5 biggest influences. A 6th would be Joyner Lucas. I've been
Oh
keeping
yeah.
up with him for many years, and like he even went under different names and shit until he was like in his 30s before he popped off, and
Right.
that's inspirational as fuck because a
That's
lot of
yeah.
people quit before they turn 20, and like
Hmm.
dog, you may not even make it till, but yeah,
That's
but,
sick. Yeah. That's dope.
but yeah, so that's my list, and it
Right.
changes, it constantly changes. That's the
I
problem
feel
with it.
that. I
Yeah,
feel that for sure. So how did you were you doing lo-fi rap before? Like were you always doing lo-fi rap or was
nah,
it something that was new?
I was doing a mix of it was more like trap, but
Okay.
have you ever heard of? No, that's a bad reference. You ever fuck? Do you know who Robbie is? Like RAW dash B.
No, I don't think so.
I hold up. Fuck. I made rap.
Okay.
Whatever beat I could get my hands on, I made rap. I never did lo-fi until Poetics. I drove up to his crib. He used to for me and go out to
Okay.
Nashville. So I
Hmm.
would go crash with him, and I drove out there and crashed with him one weekend or one week, and he played a lo-fi beat and was like, "Bro, put something on this," and I did, and we were like, "Oh shit!" And I think it was, I could be wrong, but I think it was my song "Dying Slow" and my song "Dope," which didn't drop for like 2 years. Like
Hmm.
I made those and set them aside, and then made like 20 other lo-fi songs, dropped them, and then was like, "Oh, these are perfect. These are like starter songs." But I don't remember
Yeah.
that. I could be messing that up, but no, I did. I was into, well, Joyner Lucas. Yeah, I was trying to copy his style. Um, the ADHD vibe was that whole album. The 1-800 was too electronic for me. But like, nah, the intricate rap, I still do this, but not as bad, but I wanted every syllable to rhyme. I wanted
Right.
the flow patterns to be the most intricate shit you've ever heard of. Um, and now I just want vibes, and I'll put dope rhymes in it. But like, yeah. So no, I did not always do lo-fi, but I'm definitely glad that I found it.
What is your creative process like? Like how do you make the songs?
Uh, I've never quite understood people that had a creative process.
Okay.
Every song is different for me.
Hmm.
So like, literally pick any song from my discography. Uh, it's got a different just story behind how I made it.
Hmm.
Uh, a lot of my newer ones are kind of fitting. I'm getting a good pattern now. If I
Okay.
produce it, I take a random splice sample, chop it up, flip it, whatever. Um, no drums or anything, just loop it, and I make the vocals and then build the beat around it. Um, but I've only been producing my shit recently, so like everything before that, I could be driving on my way home from work, and Poetics would shoot me a beat and be like, "Yo, you would sound dope on this," and I'd freestyle in the car, and I'd
Right.
be driving, and I'd hit a red light, and I'd be freestyling, and there'd be a line in there that I'm like, "Oh, that's gas," and I'd write it down,
Mm.
or I'd be like, I'd find a melody or something while humming, and I'm like, "Oh, that's fire," and I'd write it down, and then I'd get home, and I don't know, piece the song together. there are other songs where like a lot of my early stuff, especially under my old name, I'd be at Poetics's crib and he'd be like ghostwriting for me. I'd be like, bro, I'm stuck. This hook is going nowhere. He'd be like, do this and do this and do this, say this, hit this note, do this, and I'd be like, oh fuck, all right. So like he goes through a ton of shit for me in the past. Only hooks. I'm too picky about verses, but like, so it's always different. Sometimes it would be I'm sitting there producing a song for like I'm trying to drop lo-fi beats in 2022. I'll be producing a lo-fi beat and I'll be like, yo, this needs a verse and just put one on it. Like it's always different. It's never the same.
That's funny.
Ever. So
did that was so question is, or just a follow-up question with that is the Skull Kid Lullaby, was that like something you produced? How did that happen?
Yeah.
Was that one of those instances?
So I produced it, but I kind of I cheaped out. Yeah, let me before I lie to myself, let me pull it up. I think I loaded up a basic royalty-free sample. I don't remember if I cut it up or not first. Fuck it. I can figure that out later. Yeah, so Skull Kids Lullaby. That's kind of secretly, that's like my aim for 2022 is that vibe. And my album is going to be called Skull Kid, but I haven't really leaked that yet.
Okay.
I guess I did.
So we got the exclusive.
Yeah. It may change. My plans change sporadically. But I produced that song. I think I produced all of it. I don't remember. Most of my shit eventually gets a co-prod or something by someone. I'll send it out to this person, be like, yo, touch it up. And then I'll send it out to this person, be like, hey, add something. Just because, like, my creative direction's fine, but getting other influences into the song just make it doper. That's why I always tell people, don't. You can produce, mix, master, record, all that yourself. You can do your own art. Like, I did my own art for Skull Kids Lullaby. Like, I do all of it. I still outsource because you're missing out on networking and like connections, relationships that are built naturally when you work together, and you're also missing out on the creative, I don't know, intricacies that happen when you start working with other people and getting their input. But for that song specifically, I think it was all me, but I don't remember. Like, I make so much music and just I have a brief short-term memory loss issue, and that also affects things. So yeah, I don't remember, but I'm fairly sure I did everything for that song, mix, pride, everything. Got you. I don't remember.
Bad. All right. So if you could, what would be something you'd like to change about the music industry?
Streaming. Straight up. Used to, and this one's a rant for me, so like stop me if I go too long. Used to if you had 30,000 fans, like actual diehard fans buying your merch, buying your albums, all that. You put out an album and 30,000 people bought that album. Let's shoot low because albums were like 12 to 16. Let's go for 10. Right. A $10 album split between 33,000 people. Holy fuck, that's $330,000 for an album, okay? Now, I dropped my album. First day, I had over 300,000 streams. You want to know how much I made for that after royalties were split?
How much?
You don't want to know. Literally, not even $1,000, bro. 300 plus thousand first day. Not even, yeah. And I did split royalties with some of the producers and stuff, but I retained like 90% of it. Yeah. So that artists don't get paid from their albums and shit anymore. They only get paid like YouTube pays okay. So if you can get a YouTube video, like a music video viral on YouTube, it's fine. But like Spotify and shit, they don't pay, like at all. And so unless you can attract fans and sell them t-shirts and sell them albums, like under my old name, when I ran my old brand before I rebranded as Cxldaf, I would sell like t-shirts. I toured and I sold t-shirts and CDs. I made more on that like 4-day tour than I may have made at all as Cxldaf. like
Oh
in
wow.
2 years, and I've done way bigger numbers as Cxldaf than I ever did as the other man. And so, trying not to rant too long, streaming is destructive for artists because you don't get paid. It's horrible. 300 grand, bro. 300,000 first day streams for an album should pay out way more than like. Let me do the math. It's like $400 average for 100K streams, so $1,200 for 300K streams if all the accounts are premium. Right. So like if people are listening to you on free accounts, you get paid less. So literally, you're making nothing for doing big time numbers. So that is just ass. I wish we could get rid of it and go back to iTunes. That was the day that you were made. Like you needed 30,000 fans back then. Now you need 300,000 or more. Like
that's tough.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring that up because I saw a meme where it was like, "Oh, Spotify, congrats on 17,000 streams," and it was like 2/3 of a penny.
Yep.
It was like a penny, but like cut. That one was funny. But I'm like, damn, it's so sad though. Like, that's crazy.
It doesn't even. I don't even understand how you can weigh it as a possibility that like. One album sale on iTunes is $10. If somebody streams, 10 songs on your project, you don't even make a penny. That's crazy, dude. $10 versus man. I could go for days on this conversation.
Yeah. Shoot. Are there any regrets so far in your music your music career?
Let me see who's watching this before I say this. Okay. Working with too many people outside of my circle, but not necessarily. You need to work outside of your circle, but like dropping songs with primary slots with other people. I have now had 3. 2 that I'm sure of, and the third maybe not, where I dropped a song with somebody as a primary artist, which means it's directly linked. It's not a feature, it's a collab. So it's directly linked to my Spotify. And they fake streams. They played it on repeat in their sleep, or they put bots on it, and it fucked up my algorithms. It destroyed. I wasn't getting radio and release radar and all that. So that's the biggest one. Is I was too willing to work. Most don't go looking because I take that shit down, so you won't find them. But not to you, to the chat. I'm not dissing anyone that like you guys would know anyways. But that I was too giving with collabs and too trusting with collabs, and it fucked me over. The second is similar to what Outlet just put in the chat. Yep. He said paying too much for features. Now, I worked 2 jobs. I had a side hustle going with the music and shit. My wife was managing at a restaurant. We were making good money. I mean, I wasn't rich. I wasn't making no 60, 70K a year, nothing like that. But I had the money, and we had the agreement that I could dump it all into music because music was our goal. That was our aim. And so I was buying features, especially under my old name. It was worse under my old name. I was buying features for a ridiculous price. Like I would get the homie discount, but it was still a lot. Like I dropped.
Homie discount was still a lot.
I dropped so much, and like literally probably up to like over 7 years, I've probably put 6 or 7 grand into collaborations and features. And that doesn't sound that bad over like 7 years, but I mean that's a lot of fucking money. Yeah, I only do free work now. Like not free work, but like I won't. And Snow's the one that told me when I first met Snow, and I showed him my song with Futuristic. I held on to that for like a year and a half. I had that before he ever started Indie Amplify, before any of that, and I wasn't gonna drop it. Because it didn't fit with my Qwik vibe. I dropped it anyways, though. But I didn't pay full price for that. I don't remember. Full price is like $3 grand. I did not drop that much on it, but I still dropped a hefty amount on it. You feel me? And like I regret that I love Zach. He's super dope. He let us drop twice. Like I've dropped two tracks with him technically. The second one cost me zip.
Right.
I don't even think I had to give him royalty money. He's dope. He's dope as hell. Great guy. But still, like I've just handed out too much feature and collab money. I didn't realize when I look at these artists and I go, all right, what does an average song by them pay? Like pay them. And if it doesn't add up to be like, I don't know, a $500 feature or $500 in a marketing, you feel me? Like, especially in the genre I'm not gonna name, the lane I used to be in.
Yeah.
I knew multiple people that would drop $1,500 on a collab with like 1K Few or 1,500 for Ty Brazzle. Those songs would do 6,000 streams. They'd make 3 pennies, and they're down over $1,000 because they were willing to drop $1,500 fucking dollars. You know, a shitty junk car, right? Like I can buy a shitty car that I can drive to work and back, just basic for $1,500. You drop that on a fucking feature, not even a collab, a feature, and zero to market the song. Not even like Instagram ads are shit. You got to know how to actually work, like outsource and market. But even Instagram ads with $1,500 would go a long way. Yeah. But you want to grab this feature so you can look good, you know? Right. So, yeah, so outlet, I agree, but I don't think at the time that it was a bad thing that I paid too much because I had the money at the time. Now I don't. And it would be nice to have it, but I still would have put it into something music related. So I wouldn't have it anyway. So I don't regret it, but I definitely learned from it and won't do it again. Right. I won't pay for any more features or collabs. I'm done paying for that shit. Snow laughed at me when I talked about working with Futuristic and paying, and he was like, bro, never. You never pay for that shit. Ever. It's royalties only.
That's funny.
So, yeah.
That's cool, man. Well, actually, I'm glad you brought that, or like you said that, because I'm actually having a discount on feature prices. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I do a constant discount for feature prices. What you talking about?
That's funny. All right. So, what do you think are important decisions to make in order to grow? I guess in with the music.
With the music, I mean, first off, you got to have a job. Everyone hates to hear that, but I know, and you actually know him. I'm not going to name drop him. I don't do that. An artist that is full-time in music and his career is slowly doing this. And he won't go get a job to put funding back into it because you have to be able to put money in. It's like any other business. You have to have ad money. You have to have marketing money. You have to have, And so get a job, work as much as possible. Like I said, I literally had 2 jobs up until I was 18. And then I had a full-time and a part-time from like 19 to 21. And then like I always overworked so I could have extra cash to put into my craft. And I mean, you have to. Like you have to be willing to give it everything you've got. You've got to stop. I literally had to stop hanging out with friends. I had to stop going places. I had to stop doing things because I needed to spend every second in front of this Mac learning how to either engineer, produce, learning how to market. Marketing's the hardest thing you'll ever. You need like 1,000 hours minimum just to study marketing. It's crazy. So that just grind. You gotta have a job. You gotta have the want. If you don't feel just an impending like doom when you think about quitting, like I have this conversation with Poetics all the time. A lot of guys, even in my circle, are comfortable, and you can't be comfortable. Like Matthew Tuck will say this all the time too. You can't be comfortable. Like you have to see this as I have no other options. If music doesn't work out, I will die. I will either die from, I don't know, being too fucking old, still trying to make it in music, or I will deplenish all of my finances into it and starve. I don't know. You got to be willing to literally die for your craft. It has to be the only thing that really matters to you. And that sucks. That sucks ass. But it's not fun. It gets fun, but it's not fun. Like, It's just not. That artist retreat was dope. But if you notice, I wasn't sitting there just trying to hop every song and network with everybody. And I
Right.
picked the 4 people that I already knew all of them, but I picked the 4 people I needed to network with, and I made it a point to sneak in and network with them, and made that my only goal. And the rest of the time, I just fit the vibe, and I
Right.
tried to.
For sure.
I helped to write something, and I played some Smash and tried to kick it and get in tight with people, but like intent, bro. I didn't go just to have a good time. I knew what I had to do. Everything in the music has to be treated like that. Literally everything. I went to Capitol. I got to go to Capitol, the label. Outlet was there. It was me, Outlet, and Poetics, and Social Club Misfits. We got to go in late at night. They were shut down and all that, and I went in, and like I wasn't sitting there goofing off and shit, and I wasn't being a hard ass, but I knew I had to get in. I knew I had to flex this and that and this subtly. I knew I had, and I did. I got phone numbers. I got contacts. I ended up with a song with a Capitol artist, like
Right.
6 months later, or 5 months later. You just got to have a grind, bro. And you have to have this feeling of no other option, period. Because if you don't, you'll never make it. Because there are going to be times where you're sitting in your car and you're in the middle of beef. You know, I attract drama. I don't know why. I don't know why. I've been the center of so much drama in the lo-fi scene and in the other scene. The other scene, fuck them. I deserved it, but I did nothing wrong, right? This scene, I'm just trying to like give off stoner vibes and make lo-fi music and occasionally talk about my faith. That's all. And like, I get beef, bro. Like people coming fuming. But like, I don't know. I'm ranting now, but yeah. Yeah, that's the only advice that I can give at all is get you a job. Even if it's minimum wage, you got to have money coming in because you have to be able to invest it. Shitty music will get you nowhere. I wish people understood this. Like, if you can't make beats, pay someone for beats. I went and worked extra hours so that I could hand Poetics money. Back when he was like, when we were both nobodies, I paid him, full price for every beat for a long time. And like, I went and got a part-time job on top of my full-time job so that I could fund good cover art, dope. I would pay for photographers. I dropped like $400 to go do a photo shoot to collect photos to use for 6 months in different promo and shit. Like I was 18. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I knew I had to have cash and I had to be investing everything into every aspect of the music. So YouTube for your marketing and learning. Kind of, yeah. Just don't get scammed. Study the algorithms. You can't just follow people's patterns because the algorithms change. Study the algorithms. Like I'm doing with lives. If you'll notice, I only go live at specific times of the day. That's because the algorithm favors them for me. And I'll hit 11. I hit 11 live viewers at midnight last night. It was right at the midnight mark. It's because I started at a specific number. I'm not going to give people. I started at a specific time. It's the algorithms. You learn them and it benefits you. Spend all your time learning that. But yeah, get a job. Let me end my rant. Get a job. That's the bottom line. You got to be able to feed yourself and you got to be able to fund your music. Otherwise, you'll go nowhere because you have to have money to get heard.
Right.
So yeah, I'm done ranting.
Awesome. So, if I was a new Cxldaf fan, what would you tell me?
Thank you. I love you, and get ready to hear me rant on lives twice a week about everything from my faith to agoraphobia. I don't know. Just buckle up, I guess, and get ready.
Oh yeah. What would you say would be your 5-year plan, music wise and then personally?
Okay, music wise, I don't have one.
Okay.
I'm looking like 6 months ahead max because so much changes so fast. I really can't plan anything. So I don't have a better answer for that. Like I can tell you, I can't really tell you my plans, but I've got early plans. I can tell you, but not on live. But I've already got release plans and shit, and I've got stuff in place. But like I don't plan out more than like 6 months because literally there's no telling where it will go, what will happen.
Right.
I might get dropped by this person or that person. I might gain a connection. I might,
Yeah.
most of my biggest songs with my biggest artists came out of nowhere. Like that, Excuse Me with Snow and Poetics. Like we're playing Warzone and I randomly get a, yo, you want to hop this? Like that changed all my plans, like my
That's
release
crazy.
schedules and everything, you can't really, I don't know. So yeah, I don't have a 5-year plan. Just keep making music and trying to grow this as a business. I'm done with keeping this as some subtle hobby shit. It's a business. I'm gonna treat it like a business and nothing less.
Mm.
And then personal life, I have no fucking clue. I hope to have another kid though. I just got to be able to afford another kid. But like my son is everything, so that's the only thing in my 5-year. A studio. My recording studio, where we have a building. We're currently building a recording studio inside this building that I want to rent out to people in town and eventually run as like a mini label. All sorts of crazy shit. But who fucking knows? Because the plans have changed like 4 times on that in just 2 months. So yeah, I have like a 6-month plan max for both life and music. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Well, that ends our conventional questions, right? But we do have our segment towards the end of 2 to 3 random questions that don't have anything to do with anything, just to see what happens. So
All right.
we're gonna go with that. So, first question: what's a joke you always like telling?
Are we going PG here?
Whatever you go for, whatever joke you like telling.
Yo, I'm gonna get in trouble for this, dog.
Well, if you don't want to get in trouble, you don't gotta say it.
Nah,
But if
I
you don't
might as
care,
well. What's the fun if I'm not risking getting deleted and losing everything over a joke?
right?
What what do bungee jumping and prostitutes have in common?
What's that?
If the rubber breaks, you're dead. That's not bad. That's my joke. That how I set the bar with like new people. When I meet new people, I meet most of the people like in music through video games. I'll hit them up and be like, "Yo, do you play this?" Or "Yo, do you play this?" And we'll play, and I'll be like, "Hey," and I'll crack the joke or something.
Yeah.
That's it. You got to go semi dirty to like catch them kind of off guard and let them know that you're not like super sheltered and shit.
Right.
But you also got to keep it like classy so that they don't think you're some punk or something.
Yeah.
All right, so
Awesome. Next question is, what is a guilty pleasure you have?
oh shit. My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah. I don't know if
That's
that's
dope.
guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
honestly,
don't know if
like
I
I
do
was
that
thinking
guilty.
about it. Like I thought about, I'm like, sometimes I ask myself these questions, right? And I'm like, I don't know what the heck, what would I say to this? Like, for example, the guilty pleasure question is like, I don't know what would be considered guilty pleasure, to be honest. But
Fact.
whatever. I'll take
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance. We'll take that. We'll take
Yeah,
that.
typically singing something very not Cold AF, not
Not
my brand vibe. Belting out in the car into some fucking yeah.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
All right. Last question. What is your favorite mythical creature and why?
oh shit. Oh shit. It changes. It changes sporadically.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think. Fuck. Yo, you stumped me. Damn.
It's tough.
Okay.
It's definitely a tough one.
I'm gonna get. This is gonna be like an eye roller. Do you know what the Daedra are?
Yes.
Okay. The
Okay.
Daedric princes. Yeah, they're my favorite. If that counts as mythology, typically mythology is related to like the Greek
Right, Greek, Norse, whatever.
But if we're going full on, then yeah, because technically they're based on some old Greek shit, anyways. But
Right.
yeah, that's my answer. Unless we're gonna be more typical, and then I don't know, dragons or something.
Right, yeah. Like everyone else says.
Yeah.
That's dope. Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, that pretty much concludes the questioning. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say before we just wrap it up.
Wait, who's in here? Smoke grass, eat ass, sled fast, and I don't know. check out Schoolkids lullaby.
Oh yeah, awesome, man. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on and agreeing to do this. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, bro. If you ever want to do it again, let me know.
Hell yeah, for sure. I'll be down. Awesome,
Hell yeah.
man. I appreciate you, bro. Have a good night.
Yeah. Peace, bro.
Take it easy.
Yo, thank you so much for making it this far into the interview. If you made it this far, you're a GOAT. You're a legend. Let me tell you something. Anywho, I'm going to be leaving Cold AF's links somewhere around here so y'all can go check him out, peep his music, peep his social pages and whatnot. And yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that stuff, right? All that stuff. Y'all know what to do, you feel me? Y'all know what to do. So daily uploads, you feel me? I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.